Welcome from
Shouldn't be
Nashville,
fun.
Tennessee, my friends, your friends, the Perrys.
I want to thank Jesus for the plan of salvation, just to say, Lord, I love you, for you understand. I want to be.
This is the evening of March the 1st, 2012. We're in Cordell, Oklahoma. Have just completed a wonderful concert with the Perrys. Might I, before saying a word or two to Libby, that of all the people whom we have had to come to do concerts for us, the Perrys, they're one of our favorites. And now you better get ready, lady, because
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions that's going to require a lot of thinking on your part.
Okay.
You
Shoot.
ready? You
Shoot.
ready?
Yes.
If you didn't have to worry about making a living, what would you do with the rest of your life?
Well, if I wasn't singing, I would probably. I love to cook, and so I would probably have me a little romantic cafe with healthy food, of course, and well, every now and then have a little fattening stuff. But but if I wasn't doing that, I would probably do work with special needs kids and adults. I just have a love for them.
Seriously, if you knew that you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do the last day of your life?
I'd probably just live it like I do every day. That is something that because I've lost two brothers and my dad, and then Tracy and I have lost two children, and so that's something every day when I wake up, I try to treat it as if, well, this could be the last day. And I think if we live that way, sometimes life is not so bad.
I agree with that. If God Almighty would grant you just one request, what would you request of Him?
Probably that nobody would have to die and go to hell. That everybody would be saved or get saved before they died. And that would be my ultimate wish.
I know that this sounds a little morbid, Libby, but if you were to pass to the other world, what do you hope that people would say about the life you've lived?
Well, I know one thing they'll always say is, "Boy, she was short." I just would want them to say that you could see Jesus in what I did. Wouldn't matter if I was at home or if I was in my car or if I was on stage, but that He was my best friend, and that I loved Him so much that I tried to live every day as close to Him as I could get, and that He was my ultimate hero. He was my ultimate friend, and that they could just see Him on me.
You don't know this, but my family has been involved in the monument business for some 50-some odd years.
I did know that.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Well, I surely hope that we don't ever do this, but if we were to erect a monument for Libby, what would you want us to inscribe on it?
Still blessed.
feels like a place where I don't wanna be. I feel so out of place here, 'cause it's just not home to me. But for now, I'll take
One last question.
Okay.
Tell 3 things that you believe that you have no doubts about.
3 things that I believe that I have no doubt about.
No doubts about it.
First one is I know I'm saved
Amen.
and that heaven's going to be my home. The second is I know that I love my husband with all my heart. And third is I know I love my son with all my heart.
All right. I have no doubt about that.
No doubt. No doubt about
blue skies coming in today. We're all too often troubled up, but never in distress. We are never in despair, although bewildered I confess. But in spite of a persecution that the enemy deploys, we are not forsaken here, cast down and not destroyed. 'Cause there are blue skies are coming, though the clouds are dark and gray, though the thunder and the lightning say the storm.
Are you having fun, Doris?
All right, let's
You having a
take
good time
your
tonight?
camera. Yes, we take a good picture of Sarah.
Thank
She's
you.
just blooming
Got a
out.
good
Yes,
one right
thank
now.
you.
Yes, she's just blooming right out.
Awesome. Tell me something, Doris.
Okay, this is a girl that I went to school with
Yes,
all of my
yes.
life. Her name is Jeanette Pink. And this is Miss Smith. I didn't go to school with her, but we've known
So
her
do
for
you
a long,
know my
long time.
grandma? You know my grandma,
Yes, I
don't
know
you?
your grandma.
Lorraine? Yeah, Lorraine.
Tell her we said hi.
I will. You can tell her right there. Just say, hey.
Hi, Lori.
Promise sweet deliverance if we trust Him and obey. There are blue skies coming in today.
What has God been talking to you about lately in your spiritual life?
Lately, actually just as of recent, faithfulness specifically. Just the fact that I've been reading through the book of John, and he's talking about how that each and every time when he was talking with his disciples, even when there were divisions among the Jews, and he was speaking to other people, he was speaking to all the crowds, there were always divisions, and he was always saying, I am my Father knows me, and I know my Father. If you believe in me, believe also. If you believe in him, believe also in me. And so he's been speaking to me a lot about just having faith in him and that being sufficient enough. Because there's a lot of times here on earth we get so focused on needing something to grab onto. There's a lot of times he doesn't give us that. We just have to work on just faith. So that's what he's really been, well, I guess, pounding home for me as of recent.
So through this, how do you know when God is talking to you about faith? Like how can you describe your experience of listening to God and relating it to somebody that might not understand that?
Hearing God's voice, obviously sometimes you can't hear it audibly, but I feel like that he surrounds me with things that cause me to have faith. He surrounds me with songs about faith when I sing. He surrounds me with thoughts about faith, being faithful to people, being faithful in friendship, being faithful in my love towards other people, and also just being faithful most consistently with him. And anytime I read the Word, it seems like he brings that passage of faith. Some passage I'm reading, there's the word faith, or he's talking to his disciples or to the Jews or Gentiles about faith. And it's for me, anytime something really hits home for me like that, and it happens in a lot of different areas, that's when I really just go, okay, that you're speaking, Lord. So I try to really be attentive to that. Sometimes it's just a still small voice.
Are you a songwriter?
I am, but I don't share much of my stuff with anybody. I'm still in that phase where I'm really scared to let everybody hear it because it's really kind of bearing your soul. You work a lot of stuff out in writing, and it's just like sharing your soul with somebody. And so it's still uncomfortable for me. I'm still in that uncomfortable stage. But hopefully one day, I've prayed about it, and I've been asking the Lord to give me some words. And every once in a while, he'll give me a hook, or he'll give me something that can really grab people's attention. So that's kind of, I'm there, but I'm not too far yet. So.